Hey, welcome back to the Midday Q&A. I'm your host, the Duckman. We're back today with another exciting edition of my 1956 Beetle, also known as Eleanore. Guess what day it is today? It's February 15th. It's an international holiday. You might have thought, yeah, yesterday was Valentine's Day. What the hell is today? Today is actually Side Chick Appreciation Day. That's right, if you got your little special something that you got on the side, whatever, whoever, yeah, you get the point. Anyway, today's the day you're supposed to show appreciation. Now, if you know the story of Eleanore, Eleanore actually is my side chick. Little Skeeter here is my wife, or at least she thinks she is anyway. I had a girlfriend at the time when I got Eleanore, and she became incredibly jealous of the car. Eleanore was where I was spending a lot of my time. Eleanore was where I was trying to do things to make my life better, to get back on YouTube. And she didn't want to have any part of it, didn't want me doing it, and you know the whole deal. Anyway, that's how Eleanore earned her name, because in Miami slang, Eleanore, this is what I've heard from some of the people in Miami, when people ask about Eleanore, you know, how's Eleanore, they're talking about your side chick, whatever her name might be. And that's why Eleanore has got her name, because Eleanor's my side chick. So we're going to have a look at Eleanore today, and you probably noticed we got an extra door over there, and the reason why is because we're going to be comparing the stock door to the custom modified chop top door that I installed on there to see exactly how it's different, and very specifically, how that mechanism works, seeing as how I have an earlier door handle on there, but yet I have a much later mechanism inside the door. The two of those were not made to go together, but I made them work. And it really wasn't too awfully hard, but we'll get into business as to how exactly it took to make it happen. And of course, we'll show you right here in that video. Right, Skeeter? You gonna watch with Daddy and make a video? What's on your face? Spaghetti noodles. So anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, pluck that little dingle bell you see down our next subscribe button, and we get updates every time I upload a video. Don't forget to check out Skeeter the Duck's channel, right, Skeeter? Yeah, you got your own YouTube channel. We need to start putting videos on there more often. Yeah, maybe once a week. We need to get on that. Yeah, I need to put a video up just for you. Alright, don't forget, if you'd like to email me, duckmancycles@duckshit.net. Check out the Facebook group page, Duckman Cycles and VW Garage. And also have a look over at my Instagram, VV the Duck VV. Same name as this YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright, if you remember the deal on this door, the bottom of the original 1956 doors that were on this car, the bottom of them from about here down was rotted out. And I mean, it was really, really bad. And I had a set of doors that somebody had cut out the door handles on and smoothed it over. They were going to put shaved door handles on that car. So I thought, those doors were already butchered. Maybe I should use those to rebuild Eleanor's doors. So right above the swedge line here on the body, I cut up about a half an inch above that, and I grafted Eleanor's doors onto the lower door. And the reason why I kept the tops is because the windows on an earlier Beetle are actually much smaller. So all of the pillars and the frame all the way around it is much thicker than it is on a much later Beetle. So I retained the top and I chopped it down and made it fit. And at the same time, I wanted an original set of door handles on it. You know, these nice ice pick door handles that they call them. If I was going to be using the later mechanism with a later bottom, though, I was going to have to replace the door handle with a later model. And that would have given away that the car was not actually an oval. You know, it's just one of those things that you just don't find properly on an oval. So I wanted to put these door handles on there. So I got to looking at this whole area up in here, which of course was not rusted because it was actually on a good car. And I cut out the mechanism, and you see this line all the way around here, because this is the Bondo that was on that door from when that guy shaved out the previous door handle holes and everything that was on here. So I went ahead and I cut out a section out of here from the original doors, which had the proper scoop in the side of it and the proper shaped hole for the 1956 door handle. It also had the little screw holes in the end for attaching that handle, so that way it properly mounted inside this door. And then I cut out the same size piece out of the later door and grafted it into place. Now before I could be done, I noticed the mechanism didn't line up. So I actually had to take some measurements from the top of the swedge line to the middle of the door handle. And I did that on the original door first. Now this door here is a set of doors that I picked up because if I messed up the other doors, I was going to use these as a replacement for them. And it turned out I really didn't need them. And measuring from the swedge line down to the center of the door handle hole, we were looking at right about 3 inches. So with the original mechanism, late model mechanism inside the door, I then laid that grafted piece on top of here and I measured down 3 inches. And right to the center of the door handle. You notice 3 inches is actually way low on this door handle. It's actually more like 3 3/4. It might even be a little bit less than that. But when I mounted this thing on here and I started pulling on the mechanism, I noticed that it didn't mesh with the earlier door mechanism. It's just, it wasn't even close. It was actually just entirely too low actually. It had to come up a little bit. The door handle mechanism that's inside, it actually has a piece of metal that folds over kind of like this. I bent it out just a little tiny bit. I mean, it didn't take much at all. And once that was into place, I just tacked it in a couple spots, pulled on the door handle, and it worked. So I went ahead and checked all the measurements on it, made sure everything was going to jive. I made sure that the metal was nice and flush the whole way around, so I made some nice body work out of it, and then continued to weld it in all the way around here, as well as welding in from the backside. Once I got all that in place, and I was happy with it, I then opened up the door and looked on the inside. Alright, so I swung the door open, I looked on the inside, and you can still see that up in here there's still some area that needs to be welded that I haven't finished in yet. But the 2 original screws, and one of them is unfortunately lost, I'll have to replace it, but the 2 original screws that hold in the door handle are now aligned with that. The screw that's in here that holds in the mechanism is still in place. I tried not to cut into that area, but I'm going to have to fill it in anyway, with a little bit of welding through here. And I got that mechanism to work. And as you notice, this is the late model mech. The door handle does indeed pop open with the original stock handle. Now, the locks that are on this are going to be a little peculiar because the locking mechanism that would be on a 1956 door handle is actually part of the handle itself. It's not part of the mechanism. So when I lock it on the outside, the actual door mechanism, this little piece here, is technically not locked. So that's kind of interesting how that's going to work. Now, I could lock this mechanism, and I could also lock it at the door handle, and I essentially could have it double locked. Now, when you think of a thief trying to get into the car, that would really piss them off, because they wouldn't be expecting that. But I still have yet to come up with a method to lock the stock lock, because I would like to be inside the vehicle and be able to lock it, and I don't want to have to do it from the outside. Now, inside the door, you'll find the inside door handle, this guy right here, and it's attached to a long push rod or a shaft of some sort. It's actually just stamped sheet metal. It's really not that fancy at all. But this mechanism goes back and forth, as you can see right here using the door handle. The shaft needs to push on that lock mechanism to lock it. And that way when you pull it back this way, it'll unlock it, and one more time, and it actually will open the door. Now if I attach a little zip tie to the end of this rod, which you can actually see coming through the little hole there, and attach it to the inside of the stock door handle from a late model, I can actually make that work. It will open and close, but it will not lock. This little loop is unfortunately a little too short for that, so I have to add a linkage to this, and I have a plan in mind, and I wrote it down in one of my shop books, how I can make that work, so that way when I pull it this way, it will lock the mechanism, and when I pull it back that way, it will not only unlock, but it will open the door mech right here. So that's part of the plan that I've got going on for this, and I think I can make that work. So I'm not quite finished with the interior mechanism yet, although the exterior, as you can see here, is working just fine. Yeah, that works quite well, actually. I'm very, very happy with that. This door still needs a little bit of welding on the inside here. I haven't finished that yet. I still have to cut out this lip because this lip here was all rusted. And then I need to come up with some method to install my little vent windows. I would like to add vent windows to this car. I don't know that I'll be adding the stock ones back in or even modified stock ones. I've got a different plan for vent windows, and I don't want to share it because I think some of you are going to criticize, and I don't like sharing stuff before it's ready to go, because that's usually what I get. I get a whole lot of crap from people telling me how I should do it or how it's wrong. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own little things for this, and yeah, so we're going to do something really, really nice with that. Now this door will also have power locks, so I could put the mechanism somewhere through here with a push rod or a push cable, or even up in here somewhere, and push this mechanism that way, which shoves the shaft that way, locks the door, and then of course it'll unlock it, it'll move the handle. So I've got some ideas, I got some plans here, and this stuff should be able to be made to work without too much of a problem. I think I can do it. Well, anyway, I think that should answer how the lock mechanism works on this car. From here on out, there's really not a whole lot more mechanical work that I need to do to this car. I got to do a little bit of patching and welding, particularly around the door areas. The body has most of the welding done to it, but It's like I said, around the door areas is the stuff that I really need to finish. Once I get that together and I got that working and I'm happy with it, then of course we're going to figure out what we're going to do with the glass. And I get asked very often, you know, what am I going to do about the glass? And I've answered that in many videos before. But the answer is I'm going to try to cut the windshield myself, and I've never done that before, but I think it'll make a good video. I have a couple of windshields that aren't in too good a shape, and I think it'll be a good practice piece. And like I said, it'll be a good video if it works out, or if I destroy one in the process. I think you guys will enjoy watching that none the same, so I will be doing that. Quarter windows are real simple. Quarter window stuff is just flat glass, so those I can easily have made. That's not a big deal. The rear oval is actually stock. There's nothing in there that's going to be changed out. And as far as the door windows are concerned, once again, they should be easy to be made too. They're just going to be flat glass, and there's really nothing too fancy in there. You notice the contour of the door is this is just straight up and down. So a flat piece of glass should go up in there without a problem. Some people sometimes build chop tops and they say the glass doesn't fit afterwards. I don't know why. I mean, I took all the measurements. I even slipped up a piece of cardboard inside of there, and it seemed to work just fine when I tried it. So some guys say that when they build these things, the windows don't roll up all the way. Well, mine will. Mine will. Do or die, I'm going to make sure that it does work. So you guys, please like, comment, subscribe, pluck that little dingle bell you see there, and that subscribe button, and we get updates every time I upload a video. Check out Duckman Cycles VW Garage up on the Facebook group page. If you'd like to email me, duckmancycles@duckshit.net. And check out my Instagram, which is also Viva the Duck VV, same as this YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Oh, subscribe to Skeeter the Duck, my little girl. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. See you next time. So you may remember in the last video when I started shifting to test the shift coupler up in here, that the entire transmission was moving. And when I investigated and looked more closely, and you can see it right there, the nut is actually missing. And the nut on the other side is missing too. Now I know I put those on before the car show, but I got a feeling I didn't torque them down properly, and they probably found themselves vibrating off while I was towing the car between the show and home. Now I guess that's really not too big of a deal because I wasn't driving it that way. Kind of sucks that I lost the nuts, but I have a couple of spare nuts someplace and I can put that back together. But real simple problem with a real simple solution. You know, just put some new washers and nuts on there and be done with it. So that's what that was all about, in case anybody was curious. But I really didn't know what the hell was wrong. I thought maybe I had a bad rubber transmission mount or something if it was moving that easily. But the fact is, it's just, like I said, not bolted down properly. Easy solution. Thanks for watching.